Barbara and I want to thank everybody here for making the trip down. You know, it's
Step up.
okay. You know, we want to welcome all our old friends and family from New York, from Philadelphia, from Atlanta, from Texas, everybody that's here. New family from Cincinnati, new family from Canada, everybody that's here, we thank you all for making the trip. Especially all of those from the Northeast that have suffered through this Hurricane Sandy. Is that better? That's good? Okay. So does anybody here have a story they want to share about Hurricane Sandy? If you do, save it for another time, because we don't have time for everybody to speak. So, but before I get into what would normally be a toast, I do want to do a shout out to Chef Serpis. Chef. Food has been amazing. Everything has been amazing. We want to thank you. It's been terrific so far. We're looking forward to dessert.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And where's Jeff White?
Right here.
Jeff he's the general manager here, has done everything to his hostesses, his servers have kept you all happy. It's been great. So thank you, Jeff. So now on to what's going to be the evening's entertainment. And we wanted to start talking about Jeff and Adriene.
Woo!
Oh boy, oh boy. I can tell you I'm going to be kind of nice. I can't speak for the other people that are going to talk tonight. So Boo and I first met Adriene in February 2008.
You have to go closer.
Closer? Is that better? Okay.
The top one.
Top one? Thank you. Okay. Boo and I first met Adriene in February 2008. Jeff was living in New York, and we were making plans to meet him one Sunday morning for brunch when he asked, "Is it okay if Adriene joins us?" And very calmly we said, "Sure, it's okay." Meanwhile, we were thinking, whoa. She must be something special, as Jeff has never asked us to meet a girl before. So we went to brunch, and Jeff was kind of nervous that morning and hardly ate anything, but he needn't worry, as special this gal is. She is one of a kind. A few months later, when Jeff started to refer to Adriene as Addie, we knew their relationship could grow to be something really special. At one point in their relationship, as their relationship developed and got stronger, I felt that I could open up to Addie and tell her my true feelings about where their relationship was going, which was summed up in 5 words. Thank you and good luck. Addie, you were very lucky. You found a man who is loving, caring, considerate, and will do anything possible to make you happy. Jeff, you are very lucky as well. You found a soulmate that loves you for who you are, an eating, drinking, Yankee and Cowboy fan. The two of you are best friends, and that's the way it should be. I am still in love with my best friend for the past 35 years. However, marriage is more than just good luck. You need to work at it, okay? It's not easy. Work at listening to each other's needs. Work at respecting each other's feelings. Work at understanding what makes your mate happy as your lives and family grow further. So now at this point, if everyone can raise a glass, I would like to propose a toast. Jeff, Addie, our hope and our prayer for both of you is that you will always be best friends, that you will always love each other, and most importantly, that you will always be in love with one another. L'chaim. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, now you're on your own.
So now we're going to move on to what I don't know what's going to be coming next. But what we're going to do is they do want the bridal party to be speaking on their behalf. So the first person we're going to call up to speak is our niece, Hillary. A lot of people in the room know her as Hillary and Hilly and whatever other name, but we know her as the matchmaker. Because she's the one that put these two loving people together. So, Hillary.
Like my Uncle Rob just said, my name is Hillary Fryer. Jeff is my first cousin, and Adrienne is a childhood friend of mine. And I'm the reason you guys are eating and drinking for free all weekend. Yay. It might be embarrassing to admit, but up until recently, I knew Adrienne much better than I knew my own cousin. Growing up in two different cities didn't allow us to see each other very often. All I knew about Jeff was that he was a huge Cowboys and Yankees fan, loved a good argument, hated Long Island Jappy girls, had plenty of fun in college, and loved bringing home fresh bagels every Sunday morning after taking the first train back on the LIRR. Adrienne and I, on the other hand, what? The last train back, meaning like 5 o'clock in the morning. Adrienne and I, on the other hand, have known each other since we were 4 years old. There were hundreds of sleepovers where we would practice our dances for the Epstein School talent show. Neither of us being very good, Adrienne big toes, always getting in the way. There were the bar and bat mitzvah parties, always wondering if her lifetime crush would ask her to dance. The arguments of who was going to be #1 on TRL, the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, or even a concert to see our beloved boy band and Britney Spears open, and she'll even got her autograph. While I might be called the matchmaker to most, I really think we need to give credit to my Auntie Boo, who in true Jewish mother fashion was always on the hunt to find Jeff a nice Jewish girl. Almost every trip out to the island ended or began with the question, don't you know anyone that you can set up Jeff with? And every time the answer was no. It wasn't until a late dinner over Brussels sprouts at Kingswood with Adrienne where she told me she would go out with anyone. That the connection just popped into my head. Well, they kind of look alike, right? Why not? Everyone thought it was a risk, setting up a family member with a good friend, even my own mom. And even though Adrienne lied about getting on the subway when he finally called to ask her out, here we are at the beginning of their amazing wedding weekend. It's been such a great experience seeing Jeff and Adrienne fall in love, and I'm so lucky to have such a thoughtful, goofy, smart, motivated friend join my family. From New York to Atlanta, the three of us have gotten so close, and I can't wait to share more memories and fun times with the Atlanta Harari clan in the future. So let's raise a glass to Adrienne and Jeff, Mazel Tov, and I love you both so much.
Thanks, Hillary. So next up is going to be my youngest son, Jeff's little brother, who is now bigger than everybody else in the family, Alex.
Thank you for the introduction. I'm Alex. I'm Jeff's younger brother. Top mic. Okay. I'm Jeff's younger brother, and Jeff was always a great older brother. You know, he did the teasing thing, the beating me up when I was little. He had some help from Mike, clearly, but he was always good with that. And then I realized what the true value of an older brother was when he started to teach me things, and he taught me how to play hockey and what the correct play action pass for the Cowboys was on 3rd and 7, even when they had Quincy Carter, and everything that was really just good about a big brother. But one of the first major lessons I learned from Jeff was how to take advantage of hungover people. So when Jeff was in college, me and him ended up sharing a room whenever he came back home. And he would go out with his friends, and the next morning, he would be extremely hungover. And at first, he would look at me and be like, "Can you grab me a Gatorade from downstairs?" And as a dutiful younger brother, I would happily oblige. And then I realized a few weeks into it how badly he really needed these Gatorades. And so I started to charge him. And my first finance lesson in life came from Jeff. And I started to charge him every time he asked me for a Gatorade. Got to the point where he would wake up on Saturday morning, give me a call, and I'd just ask him a color, red, yellow, or orange. And he would say it, I'd bring it straight up to him. So, thank you. I wish I had a Gatorade for you for tomorrow. I'll give you the beer now, the Gatorade tomorrow. And then Jeff grew out of his college stage a little bit. You know, he matured a bit growing up. And then he moved out of the house, and he started going out with Adriene. I heard my parents mention her name once or twice, and I remember going out to dinner and meeting her once. And then a few months into the relationship, I went out with him one night in the city, and I stayed over at his place. And that night, she came out and met us out. And I remember thinking how cool this was that his girlfriend would come out and meet us, and how excited he must have been that she would even come and hang out with us anyway. And then the next day, we all went out together, the three of us, to Barbecue Fest. And I'd really never spent much time with her, and it really hit me watching them together why he was happy with her. Because Adriene, you're cool, you're funny, you're sweet, you're everything that I could have hoped him to have, and you can deal with his BS, and beyond anything, that's great. And Jeff, I could tell how much you liked her, and how much she likes you, and how much you guys now love each other, having seen you guys grown since then. And I just wish the best for both of you from now on.
Moving right along, we're going to go back a little bit of time for Adriene. We're going to bring up someone who Adriene has known, I guess, all her life, pretty much. Julia Wertheim, who she met in kindergarten. So, Julia, tell us some stories about Addie.
I guess I should have been technological and done the technology thing, but I'm not like that, so I didn't. So I have props. AD, we've known each other a long time.
You speak into the mic closer to the mic.
Since we were 2. When I think of the word friendship, it's yours. When I think of the word friendship, sorry, your face comes to my mind. You're my oldest and dearest friend. I have to get my other prop. We've been together through bad hair days,
You gotta stay close to the mic.
Miss Sandy's dance classes, many interesting Halloween costumes, swimming parties, and even manners class. Next pop. When we learned to be ladies together, or at least you did. And although we parted ways during college, we pick up right where we left off every time we talk or see each other. We've been together through the good times and the sad times, and I can't wait for many more happy times with you. And even though Jeff is taking my spot in this picture, now the old lady. I know that we'll still be the best of friends when we look like this. I love you and Jeff so much and have so enjoyed getting to watch y'all grow together since the first time you called me to tell me you met somebody, finally. And to this very moment when y'all are gonna get married tomorrow. And I love y'all so much.
Thanks, Julia. Now we want to go back in Jeff's childhood and bring on Ross Mund, who has known Jeff since elementary school as well. So looking forward to these stories very much.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? All right. First off, I just want to congratulate the soon-to-be newlyweds. Can we give them a round of applause? So I've known Jeff since we were really young, I think about 5 or 6 years old. And over the course of the last 20 years or so, he's been one of my closest friends. You know, we've been through a lot together. Little League baseball, many sleepovers when we were younger, the dangerous fields of John F. Kennedy football. You know, we never won a game, but oy vey, thank God we survived. Yeah. We've been feuding over Giants-Cowboys games for like 20 years now. And you know, with the exception of his immediate family, Jeff has been the only Cowboy fan I've met who grew up in New York. And to this day, it's, you know, still extremely irritating. But you know, over the course of all these years, I've, you know, really gotten to know Jeff and have always enjoyed his company. He's extremely smart, he's got a great sense of humor, and he's easily one of the most laid-back, relaxed people I know. You know, most importantly, he's got a genuinely good heart, and he's always been a reliable and trustworthy friend. You know, when he started dating Adriene, I saw them a couple times, you know, at the beginning of their relationship, and you could really tell that good things were in store for the two of them. I've never seen Jeff as happy as he was when with Adriene. And, you know, getting to know her, it was easy to understand why. I mean, come on. She's beautiful, she's witty, she's outgoing, she's a lot of fun to be around. You know, I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say you two make an absolutely outstanding couple. Right? Okay. Stop crying, all right. But I'll keep this short and sweet. I'm extremely happy for you two. You know, for the 5th time, raise your glasses again. You know, I wish you nothing but joy and success in your marriage. And I love you both. I have the utmost confidence that you're going to be happy together for the rest of your lives. Zero doubt in my mind. L'chaim, cheers.
So we heard from Julia as Adriene was in kindergarten and when she was a little younger girl. We now want to hear from Jenny, her first and closest friend from college, to hear about those years together and any other stories she cares to share.
Hi, everyone. Adriene and I met freshman year of college while we were both pledging A Phi. My first impression of Adriene was that she was really intimidating and part of the cool girls group. I was pretty scared of her and never thought she would want to be friends with a shy girl like me. During a pledging activity, I got paired up with Adriene to put on a skit in front of our whole pledge class. I was terrified. Not only did I have to speak in front of the whole pledge class, but I had to go to Adriene's dorm room to plan out the skit. I was so nervous, and I think I barely spoke while we were planning. But this is when I realized that I was totally wrong about Adriene. She was so sweet and so fun to be around. After this, our friendship grew, and Adriene became one of my best friends. Throughout college, Adriene and I shared so many amazing times. Adriene was always up for having a good time and could usually be found dancing or twirling around one of the bars. Adriene was always making me laugh by showing off her awkward dance moves, especially her cheerleading tryout dance. However, one thing was missing from all of the good times we were having: a boyfriend. Adriene would constantly ask me when and how she was going to meet the love of her life. I told her to just be patient and that it would happen when you least expect it. So then Adriene and I traveled abroad to Australia, where we shared the best 5 months of our lives. And this is when I really learned what an incredible friend Adriene was. I was so lucky to have her in my life. I was going through the hardest time of my life, and Adriene flew to New Jersey just weeks before we were leaving, just to be there for me. I wouldn't have went to Australia if it wasn't for her, and she made sure that I had the best time when we were there. Counting backwards and talking all night long, Adriene proved she would always be there for me. We have so many great memories from Australia, like when we would go to class in our bathing suits, going out almost every night, getting kicked out of the bars, having a huge party in our apartment, and most of all, eating so much that our clothes didn't fit when we got home. Then, after we graduated, Adriene made the big move to New York. Over the 3 years we lived together, we shared 2 apartments together. We basically shared a room with only a wall between us. We could actually talk to each other through the wall, and yes, we could hear everything that went on in each other's rooms. During this time, Adriene was dating, but still had not found the love of her life. She was getting a little frustrated and wanted to give up, but then one night, when she least expected it, Adriene told me she was going out for drinks with her friend's cousin. When Adriene came home that night, I could immediately tell that this time was different. She had a huge smile on her face, and she said she had a great time with this guy named Jeff. She was definitely going to see him again. When I met Jeff for the first time, I instantly liked him. I felt like I had known him for years and could see exactly why Adriene liked him. He was smart, caring, and he really took the time to get to know me. I knew he was right for Adriene when he would bring over her favorite flowers. She would light up with happiness when he did this. I was so happy that Adriene had finally found an amazing guy who would end up being the love of her life. I couldn't be happier for the 2 of you. You make an amazing couple, and I know you'll always be there for each other. Adriene, you're an amazing person, and I feel so lucky to have shared so many amazing memories with you. You're such a passionate, caring, and fun person to be around. You've always been there for me and always make me laugh. I'm so happy to call you my best friend. I love you both so much, and I can't wait to celebrate with you tomorrow.
All right, Jenny, thank you. So now we're going to bring up Jeff's 3rd brother, almost, his brother in Atlanta, Ari, Adriene's brother.
Hello for all of y'all that don't know me, especially the out-of-town guests. My name's Ari, Adriene's brother. Wow, it's finally hit me that my sister, my big sister, is getting married. So why are Adriene and Jeff so lucky? Well, first of all, Adriene is lucky to have me as her brother, of course. And Jeff is lucky to have me as his future, almost, brother-in-law. They're so lucky to be able to live happily on their own, to have each other and to love each other, and they're so lucky to have all of you all here tonight. I'm so happy that my sister finally found somebody that would put up with her. It honestly takes a true gentleman to be able to only answer her with a yes. Because we all know what happens when you say no. As the first marriage of both sides of our family, it makes this day especially special. I'm glad to gain new friends and family and wish you all the best for years to come. I love you.
Thanks, Ari. Next up, also from Indiana University, where Adriene went to school, is first friend there, Carly Hennon.
How's everybody doing tonight? Woo-woo, you happy to be here? I am. Okay. So I'm going to go a little bit different direction. I'm going to talk about the hurricane. Sorry. That's why I have my iPad. That's the only thing I can actually use during this whole fiasco. So we had some rain in New York, some wind, as most of you know. My bridesmaid dress was locked up, nowhere to be found. It was in the cleaners, no closet, no key. I had to pick the lock last night at about 11 p.m. just to get that bridesmaid dress, and yes, I found it, and I will be wearing it tomorrow. However, thank you. However, not to mention, this was done in pitch black darkness. So yes, props to me. I finally got the dress. Then I had to trek up the 6th flight of stairs to my apartment building in pitch blackness, which is usually run by an elevator. There was nothing that was going to stop me from being here today, this evening, to spend this moment with Adriene and Jeff. I also could not be happier for water and electricity. Okay, but seriously, I'm here today to celebrate my very special best friend, my oaf, because of her big toe. She's getting married tomorrow. So I'll finally introduce myself. I'm Carly. And yes, it's my birthday. And I could not be happier to be here celebrating my birthday with my very best friend and her future husband for their rehearsal dinner. So Adriene and I have been together. We've known each other for 9 years. We met freshman year, Mr. Dabrowski's math class. Math was not one of our favorite subjects, but it was one of our favorite classes because we were together, obviously. Wait, my iPad turned off, hold on. 26% battery left. All right, we have some time. So, some highlights from the past 9 years that we've known each other. We joined AFI together. Adriene was secretary. She was in charge of points, which, you know, she would give out to all the members, determining if you get a single or a double or a triple. And, you know, Adriene being my best friend, she'd rank up my points. So thank you. We traveled to the Panama Canal with our families, and that was not a planned trip. That was just so happened to be together, where we learned our favorite game, Crazy Gin, and we shared many sea breezes together. After Adriene and I graduated from college, the best thing has happened. She decided to move to New York City, where I live. When she moved to the city, her family was far away, so I became her second family. She would come to holidays, we would go to the movies, eat popcorn and Raisinets. That's my favorite, and Adriene, you know. She was like a sister to me. Then came along Jeffrey, which was extremely wonderful to meet you. And as most people said this evening, Adriene was always about, when am I going to meet my boyfriend? When am I going to meet my husband? I want to get married. I want to have a family. Like, I want to be like your sister. Okay, my sister. I could not be happier to stand up here and say that you have found, like everyone has said, your soulmate. And Jeff, you're amazing. You know I love you. And you're a Yankees fan, so it's awesome. I would like to thank Sheila and Margot, Barbara and Rob for hosting this amazing, amazing weekend. And to Adriene and Jeff, I left my drink at the table, but we can pretend to raise our glasses. I know. No, you can drink that. I'm more of a wine girl. I know how happy you both are together, and you complement one another so nicely. I wish you both a lifetime of health, happiness, love, many trips to New York to visit me, as I will go many trips to Atlanta to visit you. I love you both so much. Mazel tov l'chaim.
Thank you, Carly. Back to the groomsmen to tell stories about Jeff. We're going to bring up one of his oldest friends, also from elementary school, Jesse's Rib.
Many of us had a long journey getting here to celebrate Jeff and Adriene, and I think that really tells us a few things. One, that you both mean a lot to us and we wouldn't miss this for the world. And two, that you most likely won't name your pet or children Sandy. Jeff and I go back a long while, and ever since I've known him, he's been a very loyal friend. It's clear that this loyalty will be ever present as a husband to Adriene. On the other hand, I didn't meet Adriene until she and Jeff had already been dating for a while. But from the amount that Jeff spoke about her, it felt like I had known her for years. I think we can all tell how much she means to him by the small facts of hair products replacing his Ohio State hat and Ugg slippers taking the place of his Crocs. Now, I can go on for a while about how perfect Jeff and Adriene are for each other, but you can see that by the way that they look at each other. So, now that we all have heat, power, and most importantly, cold beverages, let's raise a glass to Adriene and Jeff. May this weekend be the first of many happy celebrations that we all share together. Mazel tov.
Thanks, Jesse. So now we're going to move on to some family talk about Adriene. We're going to bring on Michelle Arrighetti. Michelle is Adriene's first cousin, best friend, and we'd love to hear what she has to say about her first cousin.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad that everyone was able to make it. I know that family is so important to Jeff and Adriene, and I know they're all glad that you came. I was looking this week at some of the pictures of me and Adriene growing up, and I was thinking about all the wonderful times we've had together. I've always looked up to Adriene as a cousin, a best friend, a sister, and and as a best friend. I love you so much, and I've always shared every stage of my life with you, from Epstein to Riverwood to IU to AFI, and eventually it took me to New York one summer where I met Jeff for the first time. We went out to dinner one night, just the three of us, and Jeff was trying to pass me something, and he burned his hand really badly on the macaroni and cheese. We quickly left dinner, and Adriene took him straight to a pharmacy and got him Band-Aids and Neosporin and everything to wrap him up and make him all better. And when I saw the two of them looking at each other, caring for each other so sweetly, I knew that it was meant to be. I look at the two of them now, and I know that it's meant to be forever. They care and worry so much about each other and have so many wonderful things to look forward to in the future. I know that each stage of my life I've spent with Adriene, and now I can't wait to spend the rest of the stages in life with Adriene and with Jeff. Everyone, please raise your glasses. Cheers.
I guess everybody's probably thinking, how many more speeches do we have here, and when is dessert and coffee going to be served? So we can answer that with Michael, Jeff's brother will be the last one speaking, and then you guys can have dessert and coffee, and we can continue with the party. So, Mike, it's your turn.
I'm also probably the shortest of everyone, so thank you all for staying until the last speech. I promise to keep this short. Obviously, growing up with Jeff could be very interesting. Like Alex said, he was the torturous older brother. There were certain times where we had a little jumping, bouncing seat in the doorway, and Jeff would come over, pull on it as I'm sitting there, and just let me go up and down. He thought it was normal. Parents, not so much. Throughout the years, I looked up to Jeff. He taught me a lot of what to do. More importantly, he told me what not to do. And if I ever needed advice, it was always around drinking. So there were times where I'd call up Jeff, say, I'm out, drinks aren't settling, what do? He goes, well, you could either pull the trigger or go lay down. One of those will make you feel better right away. You decide. So I was like, okay, great, that doesn't really help me. I have two choices. One I don't like to do, the other I can't really do, so I'm screwed either way. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. So it was at that point I realized Jeff is a sage. He still is, occasionally. When I met Adriene, and I really didn't meet her for the first time until I came home from school, I actually heard about her first, not through Jeff, but through my mom. Walking downstairs, she's on the phone with her friend Jody, and all I hear is, Adriene was over for the weekend, it was so nice, it was great to have a girl in the house, on and on and on about Adriene. And I thought, okay, who is this Adriene? Why is my mom gabbing about her all the time? So I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to meet her. After meeting her, I realized why she was so great. She's an amazing woman, she's funny, she puts up with Jeff, which is most important because Alex and I are getting tired of it. So, it's been a couple of years, and Adriene, I have to say thank you to you, because you've changed Jeff in ways that we probably couldn't imagine that he would change. And he's matured, and he's actually become someone that I look up to, and I'm extremely proud of. So I want to keep this short and sweet because, as you can tell by the photo up here, there is a montage of the two of them that I put together. So Adriene, Margot, Sheil, my parents, anyone else, feel free to pick up a napkin. You might need it. And at the end of it, we'll raise our glasses again and toast the happy couple.